Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our last episode of Sun through Scorpio Ascendant. And this week we're going to be covering our position of Sun in the 12th house for Scorpio Ascendant people. And what happens when Sun is in the 12th house, in the sign of Libra, while controlling the 10th house with the sign of Leo. Because for Scorpio Ascendant, Sun is in the 10th slot, the 10th position. So this is a very significant, very important placement of the Sun. So we're going to be discussing this today. And as always, if you do not know where your Sun is placed, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations and reports at this link. So, for Scorpio people, Sun rules the 10th house, which is the house related to your work environment, your reputation, authorities, government, co-workers. It's the house of your karmas. How are you going to perform your karmas, and how smooth the path is for you to perform your karmas, and how hard the path is. So here now, your 10th Lord Sun goes into the 12th house in the sign of Libra. And Libra is a sign related to partnerships, relationships, unionships, other people, compromise, sacrifice, being liberal, dealing with contracts, negotiations. Then 12th house represents isolation. Foreign places, foreign lands, multinational companies, hospitals, asylums, monasteries, sanctuaries, laboratories. So what is this Sun doing in this particular placement? Well, what this shows, first of all, is that your career will most certainly eventually will land in fields of business. You are not the person who will find any happiness in dealing with authorities, dealing with government, dealing with co-workers, dealing with bosses. You're going to your karma here in this life is to actually be frustrated by these entities. So it's not like this is a position where you're meant to not be in it. No, you're meant to be in it because you're supposed to suffer through those things. And this is why for these people, it becomes very important to have career in foreign lands, and especially working for themselves, working in business, being an entrepreneur. This also shows that through dealing with bosses, authorities, father-like figures, your ego gets hurt. The confidence regarding career, like, yes, I can do this. This is something that I'm built to do. It's always like nailed down by authoritative figures. Whether it's your father, your bosses, some government authority. This is also the placement that naturally attracts a person towards working behind the scenes in a more creative, entrepreneurial business environment. So obviously, private sector jobs and positions become extremely strong, but there's always that little tick. There's always that problem that comes in, and usually these people change jobs multiple times due to the fact you're putting Sun, Sun, remember, is the king. You're putting the king of your universe, because see, a birth chart is like a universe. It has everything. It has planets, galaxies, countries, cities, counties, streets. So you're taking your particular Sun, which is your king, and you're telling him to work for other people, take orders from other people, abide by other people's rules. The king's not going to do that. And this is why it shows that this is the debilitated position of the Sun, because Sun is being forced to deal with authoritative figures until you learn the lesson that, maybe I should not deal with them. See, the reason why you had this position of Sun, especially depending upon the type of nakshatra, you probably insulted either your father, government figure or some priest in past life without them doing anything wrong to you. Especially if sun is between 7 and 12 degrees. If sun is beyond over like 12 degrees and over, then the sun is not really considered debilitated. It is simply shows that a person has the ability to be very clever in business, especially with foreign authorities. Like you have the ability to do back-end business with foreign governments. Like for example, I think, is it Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton? One of them, or I think both of them have the debilitated sun. Or I think no, Bill Clinton has debilitated Venus, I believe. I forgot their horoscope, but one of them has definitely do that, and you can see that their ties with foreign government, like Saudi government, and wanting to make some private deals for their own gain. Because now when you have put the sun in a position where he's not the authority, where he's not the king, where he's not the royalty, then sun has to think like, okay, how can I become regal? How can I become authoritative? How can I be in that position of governancy? Well, if my own kingdom will not let me do that, maybe I need to go far and perhaps do something far away lands where I become the king of that. So definitely shows a very cleverness towards dealing with foreign government for your own benefit. Not the benefit of someone else, your own benefit. But remember, all these little things that I'm telling you, they will all differ based on the padha of the sun. If it's in the, the first padha of Chitra Nakshatra, or if it's in the padha of Swati, or if it's in the first padha of Vishaka Nakshatra, that will always determine the final say. This is just represents that broad sense of what is the person's going to deal with. So especially if you're and especially with this position of sun, you can actually be a great government person. You can actually become an IAS officer, IPS officer, politician. What is the number one thing you have to check with the sun here? No, not its position in Navamsha, as you may think, but good thought, yes. That has the static potential of the sun. But look at the Ashtak Varga of the sun. Sarvashtak Varga and Binashtak Varga. Obviously, if these things don't make sense to you, check out the links here and check out, I think it's, I don't even know my own options. Option 15. Option 15 of Ashtak Varga. I send you a video of Ashtak Varga lesson, and this way you can on your own private self just watch that Ashtak Varga lesson. Because I don't like making videos on Ashtak Varga, because it can really make a matter and the difference between wealth and poverty, fame and defame, all of those things. So I don't know if I'm ready to dive into that yet on YouTube. I may, you never know, it might just come this year. But for this position, most definitely you'll be much better off in private sector and especially in foreign lands. But especially, jobs will always frustrate you. You will keep getting them, losing them, getting them, losing them, getting them, losing them. You're going to have to do something on your own with this. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the 12,000 Libra for Scorpio, Sun and people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Sun is placed, all my books, reports, consultations, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.